Greetings, Patrick here. 8 questions with. Happy New Year, everybody. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a fun year, I think. 2023 was excellent. Had a lot of fun. Um, Met a lot of really nice people. As far as guest wise go, had an absolute ball, and we are back for another year of fun here on 8 questions with. We interview just about anybody. If you have a story to tell and you think it's interesting, reach on out. You can reach me through Instagram and let me know what your story is. Let me know if you think if it's worth sharing, and we'll get together and see if we what we can do to make it happen. Tonight for our very first show of 2024, and Jaden will be our first chat person to come in. Hey, Jaden, how are you? Happy New Year. Um, we are bringing back an old friend. We are bringing back, but this time he's carrying another title with him. Before we met him as Spyder Dobrofsky as screenwriter, but now we're meeting him as screenwriter and film director. That's right. Spider is directing his film Down Below, and we'll be talking about that tonight. Um, yeah, it's a pretty action-packed movie and it's a stat cast. If you're a horror fan like we are, then the names that are attached to are starring in Spider's movie will impress you. We have the amazing Bai Ling from The Crow will be here. Also starred in The Breed, which was a very underrated werewolf movie, a vampire movie, very underrated. We also have Doug Jones, who played Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movies, and he also played the Ice Cream Man in Legion. Very, very creepy. A small cameo there, but it's one that you don't forget. 13 years since Legion came out. I still remember that scene. Um, and of course, the mighty Eric Roberts. I dare say, you know what? He is now pretty much full on. You can almost say that um, he is a horror guy. He is now embedded in horror films now. He has done a lot of them. I think people really don't think about that when they think of Eric Roberts, but he has done a lot of horror films now, and he is in this film as well. So I'm very happy to be talking to Spider about that. He will be here shortly. The reason why we had to start a little late is he got caught up in some business. That's why we pushed back the show an hour to accommodate him. So he will be here shortly, um, and we will get the show going on. But like I said, I'm really glad you guys are here tonight. And those who are watching the replay, thank you so much for doing that. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it very much. So I see that everybody is dropping their list now. The top 20. Hey, wow, look who's here. Superstars coming through. Hey, Lady Valerie, how are you? And there is the mighty Bat, Al Lucard, of the Cat and the Bat Show. Um, and Al will be here a week from tomorrow. Him and I will be teaming up yet again as we will be interviewing Raymond Murray from Citophobia Releasing a week from tomorrow. And believe you me, he and I are excited about this. Um, uh, Al and I we both watched and reviewed of all the movies that we watched this year. We both watched and reviewed and came up with the number one film of 2023, which was Brightwood. Brightwood, man, fantastic movie. That movie rocks so hard. Um, uh, so we're gonna be talking to Raymond Murray a week from tomorrow. I can't wait. Um, it's gonna be yes, completely independently too. Yep. Um, Tomorrow we will be talking with Peter Castro from Bayview Entertainment. Peter will be here. We talked a little bit today. Looking forward to bringing that with you to you. Um, uh, uh, this is going to be, as everybody's talking about on social media, they're talking about the waning of physical media. Best Buy is now no longer selling movies or whatnot. As these things happen to us as film lovers, um, independent distributing companies such as Cinephobia and Bayview become much more important. What I really like about both Cinephobia um, and Bayview is the fact that they offer a lot of quality films, but they're not charging an arm and a leg for it. It's not going to cost you $40 or $50 like a lot of the boutique labels are doing. Um, they come in there and the prices are fair and reasonable and affordable to a film collector still. You really, really want to go ahead and come out tomorrow as we talk to Peter Castro. He's going to talk about how they acquire films. And then we'll be talking to Ray Murray about how he does it. And you can get his catalog, his back catalog is now, it is indeed now on Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber is now releasing past art exploitation films. Um, and believe you me, there are some corkers on that list. I mean, I will be shocked if I don't hear people like discovering art exploitation this year in some of their channels. They're gonna be talking about like, look what I found, and they're gonna be holding up an art exploitation film. But those in the know have always known about art exploitation. Let me tell you. Um, all I gotta say to those people who will be discovering art exploitation this year, good for you, because you came across some very excellent films. Um, Yes, that's gonna be a lot of fun. I am really thank you so much, Val. I appreciate that. And if you care to share us out, that'd be awesome as well. I keep forgetting to do that. I keep forgetting to say share us out. I don't know why that is. Um, but yes, by all means, share it out. Yeah, Peter tomorrow. It's just, in fact, Al just dropped, if he doesn't mind dropping that here, Al just dropped his review of the Parker sessions. And go ahead and feel free to drop that interview link on in the chat, Al. So you guys can go over there and check out Al's review of the Parker sessions. Me and the Cheetah, we reviewed it. We reviewed the Parker sessions for our 31 Days of Halloween. So you can find our point of view there. We also have an interview with Stephen King Simmons that we had here on the show as well, and and that's also in, I believe, in my Bayview Entertainment playlist as well as the you can go to the playlist for the list of interviews and find Stephen King Simmons. Yes, there it is right there. That's right. We believe in sharing because sharing is caring. All right. So while we wait for Spider to get here, I will go ahead and let me make sure I open up a browser here just in case. Now he's on the West Coast, so you know what that means too. Um, so this man. Okay, we're good. We're good. So we are blazing along. I will tell you some of the calendar action coming up here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Um, okay. So what's coming on the old calendar? Obviously today is Spider, and tomorrow is Peter Castro from Bayview Entertainment. Sunday, we had to move our date with Elizabeth Chamberlain. It was supposed to be 3 p.m. on Sunday. We moved it to the Saturday, the 13th at 3 p.m. Um, so that's no problem. We're happy to do it, happy to accommodate. And so Elizabeth Chamberlain will be with us on January 13th at 3 p.m. for a matinee show. On the next Tuesday, the 9th, we have actress Heather Fraley will be here with us. She promises to be very entertaining. She'll be here with us. Next Wednesday, the 10th of January, we'll see actress Grace Juliana will be here with us. On the 11th, we have one of our own coming by to hang out with us. We have Dell from Dell on Movies. He's going to come on the 11th and hang out with us. We're going to talk all sorts of fun movies there. Uh, Dell's one of the hot rising community members. He puts out great content. His movie swap series is very well attended, and very well respected. It he is a very good host, by the way. I have to tell you that right now. He hosts his show. He does a really nice job. He's very entertaining. Uh, uh, and again, on the 12th, a week from tomorrow, me and Al will be here at 8 o'clock as we welcome in Ray Murray from Cynophobia Releasing. On the 16th, we have a very versatile actress, Susan Gallagher, who will be here. She's had a tremendous career, and one of the most interesting people I think we're going to be talking to in quite a while. She also stars in Cobra Kai, where she plays the character of Lynn. She'll be here. So we'll be talking some Cobra Kai with Susan Gallagher on the 16th. On the 17th, we have the return of Joe Cornette. We're going to be talking to Joe Cornette. We talked to him along with Alexander Nevsky for the Night of the Caregiver. But Joe's coming back because we're going to be talking about Joe's career, but we're going to be talking about westerns. We're going to be talking about Western films a lot. He's got two films underneath his belt: the Rio Bravo series that him and Alexander are doing. The second one will be dropping later on this year, taken from Rio Bravo. They did Gunfight at Rio Bravo. Now they're going to be doing Taken from Rio Bravo. It sounds to me like this is going to be an ongoing franchise. So I've seen the first movie. It was very entertaining, very, very cool, um, and very heartfelt. I enjoyed it very much. So Joel Cornette here will be with us on the 17th, and we're going to be talking about how Night of the Caregiver is doing. From everything I've been reading, people have really embraced this movie. It has made it into a cult favorite. I've been seeing a lot of reviews for it, and people's really love the movie, and that's really cool to see. I'm really happy for them. They put a lot of heart and soul into that movie, and so I'm glad to see it doing well. The lead actress in that movie, Natalie Denise Burrow, who was also on the show, her band, Kill My Coquette, will be releasing their new single next Tuesday. We'll be talking about that as well. And that's not the only time you get hear live music going on here, because we do got something really cool going on here. Hey, Professor, how are you, sir? Um, on the 18th, we have our good friend Greg Scorpion will be here. That's right, Greg Scorpion. He is a metal sculptor. Now, you know that we've had a metal sculptor on the show before. Last year, we had Kevin Stone on, who made those huge Game of Thrones dragons, massive creations. Well, we got Greg Scorpion here. While he doesn't do quite the Drogos, but he does some beautiful craft has beautiful craftsmanship on what he makes. It's a different type of it's smaller artistically, but it's absolutely gorgeous. The details are amazing, and he has a big social activist heart as well that we'll be talking and addressing. I put it out in my community tab there, that he is running a contest. He's running a contest on his YouTube channel about paying it forward. So I put the link. In my community tab to his page, so you guys can go over there and hook it up and give him a sub. And he's giving away a bar of silver, worth about $300 for this contest. One of his own personal bars of silver. So he will be here with us on the 18th. And then I should mention this real quick before Spyder gets here. So we are starting something new here on the 25th of January, and we will be doing this once a month. Once a month, we'll be welcoming in a brand new band from Bipolar Records. The first band will be Blind Adam and the Federal League. They will be here on January 25th, and they'll be playing some live music here. We'll be talking about the band and their journey. Hey, Stephen, how are you? Spider might. Spider might. We'll have to see. Definitely, I definitely wouldn't mind talking to Courtney Palm. I definitely know who she is. Um, We're still working on some other things as well. February is going to be pretty fun. I'm already starting to work hard at it, and hopefully we'll start landing some dates here real soon. But the showcase for Bipolar Records presents, um, is gonna we're gonna be talking music with one of their bands on their label. So this month is gonna be Blind Adam and the Federal League. Next month will be a band called Boob Sweat. That's what they're called. So we'll be talking with Boob Sweat, I do believe, on February 13th. Um, and so we're going to be doing that once a month, a band off of Bipolar Records. Damon Workman's label. He was on the show. We talked to him. We also hosted the Centaurettes, along with our good friend Ant from the Friendly Men. So yeah, it's a lot of things going on here. Hi V, how are you? Love to see the green heart. Love to see the green heart. And Spider will be here momentarily. He had it. He had to go. Had an engagement. He had to take care of, and so we pushed back the show until a little bit later. So I know. Hopefully he's okay. Um, so far everything is all copacetic. So that's good. Uh, Yeah, I thought so too, V. It seems like we do pretty well when we have some musicians on. I thought that would be a good idea. And I really enjoyed so far of all the I've enjoyed every musician that we've had on. Steve Hartso. We've had we had Emily Deshane is on the show. The Centaurettes. Of course, we had Jerry Montano and John Christ from Danzig were on the show. So musicians are very, very welcome. Michelle Aragorn was on the show. That's right. Cami Rain was on the show. Um, uh, we Courtney Gaines is on the show. In fact, he just released a new record, and they're out there playing as well. Courtney Gaines has is doing well as a musician, and I mentioned Natalie Denise Spurl. So we had Ashley Reeves on the show, of course. Ashley Reeves. Yes, Kill My Coquette. She is sassy as hell. I mean, I love watching her. She is just, she's all energy. She's cute as hell too. She really is. She is a firecracker. Um, I would love to have them. I mean, I might even have them come on in March. I might have them come on in March and kick down and play a set. I would love to. Yes, Rachel. Rachel's doing very well. She released a new single, and she did another. She got to sing the national anthem at another massive event. Um, so those are always good to see. A lot of our guests from last year have done very, very well. They've stayed busy. They've had tremendous success. It's always good to see. And we're going to be back. We're going to be bringing back some old friends this year. Um, I've been, a lot of times I book solo shot, I book a guest and then it takes a while for me to circle back and get them back again. I'm going to try not to do that this year. I'm going to try to bring back some more familiar guests that have been on the show and that people have really enjoyed. And I'm quite honestly, I miss talking to them. Quite honestly, I do. I miss talking to them. I think they're a lot of fun, and yeah, like I got to be honest with you. Every month I look at it, man, I get itching in my palms because I really want to bring back our good buddy Mike Ferguson. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. I'm going to bringing back Mike on here. It's been way past time for him to come on, so I will definitely make that happen. Um, yes, I would like to get Max come back on. I have a plan. I have a plan for this year. This year, the last couple of years, we try to do Women in Horror Month, and that, that's not easy. That is very, very hard. So what we decided to do was we're going to just do Women in Film Month. So women Entertainment Month. So we can bring back anybody we want. It could be a musician, it could be an artist, it could be a singer, it could be an actress, a producer, it could be anybody. As long as it's a lady and they're going to come celebrate the month of March with us, because we because March is the hardest month to book here at Eight Questions with. It is the hardest month. Um, and I do know that we got some we do got some guests coming up. That are going to be coming up, and I want to put them in March. And actually, Max will probably be one of them. I would like to bring back Max. Yes, Elizabeth Chamberlain will be here on the 13th. Um, and her brand new film Grotesque is now playing on Tubi. And yeah, yes, and she will be here on the 13th of January. Um, Yeah, we had John Marie Mack, who was a Grail guest. Wow, I could come back and probably what I'll probably do between now and tomorrow is I should actually, but I did ask everybody. Let me ask everybody here again who are in the chat and watching the replay. I would love to know. I would really love to know who was your favorite guest that we had on the show. Who are some of the guests that we had on that you were really impressed with, that you really enjoyed watching? If you could leave those in comments, that would be really helpful. I'd like to know. I'd like to get because that gives me an idea of what you like and maybe not so much. Though I have never heard anybody. No one's ever came to me and ever had an issue with any of my guests. I'm proud of that. I do my best to make sure we have some entertaining guests, even sometimes those who maybe not see the things we always see. Maybe they don't see the world the same way we do. But you know what? I'm never going to shy away from that. I'm never going to shy away from that. If they come on and they have a story worth sharing, yes. I won't ever have a rabble rouser on here. I don't need that. Nobody wants to hear a rabble rouser. But if you have a story, if you have an interesting story, I would definitely be open to hearing it, and I definitely like to hear which guest you guys liked the most that we had on the show last year. Let's see. Steven says that Karen Klisch was his favorite person. And Bunny Stewart, yep, Queen Bunnicula. That's a yes. Bunny is very sweet, and so was Karen. Karen's very sweet, and that's what I mean. Everybody had some sort of a measure of success last year, and that included Karen, who made a big splash, or should I say, a big cooking and casserole dish in Thanksgiving. That's right. She started in Thanksgiving. She probably had the movie's most memorable scene, and hopefully that'll open a lot of doors for her, and we'll be seeing her on the big screen soon. Um, uh, I really hope that that does happen. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. And quite honestly, and quite selfishly, I'm going to say this, but you know what? She really deserves the shot. She's a hardworking. Not only is she a great actress, but she's also a good coach. She is teaching people how to act, and that can't be overlooked because there are a lot of actors that need an expert hand. And Karen Klush has a tremendous body of work. Um, name me four, other than Robert Urich, of course, rest his soul. But name me four people who've done four television series, a regular on four television series. That's not easy to do. That's not easy. Even more so today. That's not easy. And Karen did that. So for her to come out here and kick ass, that's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, I have a feeling Eli will be a pipe dream. I don't really see Eli Roth coming onto this show. I mean, it would be awesome to have. I will definitely welcome in the show. But I don't think we're going to be quite big enough for Eli Roth right now. Eli Roth is probably Gosh, that was amazing. It's safe to say he's probably one of the top 10 directors right now, that's hottest directors. Um, box office was a little rough last year, but he came out with a record-setting film in Thanksgiving. Um, Now I know that he was supposed to be directing Borderlands, and I know that got caught in development hell. Supposedly they had filmed it and then had to go back to redo reshoots, and that he had to leave the project because of scheduling conflicts. Um, but I still don't think that's going to take anything away from Eli Roth and his 2024. I think he's going to have an amazing year, um, for sure. Oh, let me see where I can see if I can ping Spider here and see where he is at. Okay, let's see. Okay. I can't tell you in detail what happened. He did tell me he'd had an appointment that he had to do, and so I understand that he might be running a little late. So we'll stay with him. We'll stay here for a little bit. I'm definitely going to give him a chance to get here. I know that it was something that was beyond his control. Um, it was something beyond his control he had to take care of. So I just told him that we just go ahead and just keep talking for a little bit. Um, we'll give him a little bit of time for sure. Uh, no, there's no. You know what? You know what? There's That's what I always say. I always say this. There's no bad questions except those that are unasked. So there's no problem at all. There's no problem at all trying to see if Eli will come and talk. Um, Personally, I think I'd be very impressed by that, Stephen, because I know, for you to go up there and uh, uh oh my gosh, he got the wrong one. Hold on one second. Oh, okay. Okay, StreamYard is acting goofy, so let me see. It looks like the link that I sent him did not work, so that's the problem. That's good old street. Well, of course, like I said, it's not a questions with unless I get unless we have StreamYard snafus. Okay. Do, 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 do. I have to maneuver around my camera. All right. Do, 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 do. All right. Hey, Reed, how are you? Ah, there he is.
Oh, there we go.
I had you still sitting on the table with them going like this, trying to take those stitches off. And we're like, oh, come on, you gotta, don't
Oh,
torture the guy.
he was.
He's got,
I know I tortured man. Lucky just on my foot, but yeah, I clicked that link. I guess I was in the some empty studio or something in there.
I don't know what that was. I did the link. I did
I
the
thought.
link for, yeah, it was
I
weird.
was like,
Sorry about that.
no, no, you're good. I was like, Patrick's doing a really elaborate opening. I'm like 11 minutes in.
Yeah, you know what? You learn to juggle, right? I mean, you know this. I mean,
Yeah.
as a director, you're like, okay, how do I keep everybody busy while we're setting up this new shot? I gotta keep things going here. I can't let everything just stop, you know. Uh, um,
Exactly.
so you has. Is it okay to talk about what happened? You had some stitches taken out. Is that okay to talk about?
Oh, sure. Yeah, man. I got a little thin gash on my foot. It's
From that's right, because you surf.
yeah, yeah. It's a surf thing. It's not too bad. There's like I think there are like only like 4 stitches or something like that. But I'm like you, man. I don't like that stuff. I don't like.
Oh, I have scars all over my hands from cuts that should have been stitched up, and I just going like, yeah, I'm good.
You literally are like, I'd rather have the scars than have.
Yes, yes. Rather, and then they come up there and they come up there and say, this won't hurt. This will only you only feel a pinch, and it's just like, really? How about this? Uh, you do that. I'm gonna hit you in your nose, and it's gonna be like, did that feel like a little pinch to you?
Those damn little fucking numbing needles hurt so
Oh,
bad.
they're so bad. Oh, so bad. I get you know, I don't have no trouble with needles at all,
Yeah,
like the
but
dentist or anything else. But those right there, when they're for stitches,
oh,
uh, nope, nope.
oh, oh,
Everybody's saying hello, hello. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Happy New Year to you, Reed. Thank you so much. Thank you guys all for coming in. Feel free to share us out if you can. And V says, "Girls dig scars." Well, you definitely dig my hands. That's
oh,
for sure.
here's the chats. Okay, I can see it now. I was like, I want to see. Perfect. Thank you.
I'm gonna make us a little bit bigger here.
A semi
Um,
Scooby Doo reference. I've actually heard that before.
what?
That's with a clean looking green shirt. I see a semi Scooby Doo reference.
Oh,
If I was ever an actor, I would love to do a live action Scooby Doo movie. That would be the only thing I'd want to do.
you know, it's funny. It's like I just got done reviewing Scooby Doo.
Yeah. Oh, there's a new one out, huh?
Well, this one was from 2007. We're
Oh,
big Scooby fans here, so
I
I reviewed a Chill Out Scooby Doo.
I honestly feel like Scooby Doo is what got me into making movies. Oh, look
You
at
know,
there's
Scuba's life. You know,
zombie.
there's
I,
good
I talk
people.
about that movie as like my big Genesis moment at like 12 or 11, watching Scooby Doo Zombie Island and the monsters were real, and I was just like, this is the greatest thing ever.
The one I really like, the one I thought was badass as hell was when Scooby
That
Doo met Kiss. Man, that was pretty badass. They had all the band was all did they did all their own voices and they sang on in the movie and it was pretty fun. I was like, this is really cool. I mean, you're talking like adults can sit down here, you know, and dig out on Scoob.
I don't have Scooby Doo, but I got a Zelda cup here. Let's see how do I show that? There, link,
Yeah, see,
link, and
how can we not how can we not as adults still stay in touch with our childhood?
I know, I mean, everyone's just a big kid at heart.
I think that that's funny in that the movie Polar Express, and they're talking about how at the end they had that little bell. And as long as you could hear that little bell, you had Christmas in your heart if you could hear it. And then as we all got older and older, you don't hear the bell anymore because that feeling, that emotion of growing up and believing in something has gone away and has now left you pretty much cynical. And I think in a sense, I think cartoons are like that. I think their cartoons are like bells for us.
Tim,
Like I
yeah.
mean, if you can sit there, if some adult, let's put it this way, if you had a date and you sat down and you told your date, let's watch Scooby Doo. You just want to see the reaction. Like, is she gonna like? All right, I'll get the snacks. you know, or is she gonna look at you like, are you kidding me? I think I would. I think that's an important barometer to set. Like, is she pro Scoob or is she more like Scrappy, which nobody liked.
Can I just say that the fact that I just saw someone who loved Witch's Ghost, Tim Curry, man, I love that movie. And Ocarina of Time was the only Nintendo game that I almost beat that I couldn't beat. And
See,
one day I'm going to pull it out of my dusty basement and beat it.
See, yeah, we all. I think we're all like kids. I think we're all kids at heart here for the most part. I
Yeah.
really do. I think we really are. I think it's been clearly established that we are definitely kids at heart. Um, so the last time you and I saw each other, you were Spyder Dobrofsky,
Really?
screenwriter.
I
Now
know.
you're Spider. Now you're Spider, film director, screenwriter.
And what will I be next time? I'll be in.
Wow. I just want to know how the hell you became a film director. I was like, hell yeah. And then you go ahead and land your first movie, and there you are. There you are in all the trades.
I
It's
know.
like you're in the trades. It's like, damn, look at Spider. Boy, he was here. He was a guest once.
I was a
Uh,
guest.
uh,
I
yeah,
was,
he was a guest once. That'll never happen again. Because look at him now. He's in Variety
oh,
and whatnot. And Deadline. Um, so let's go back to when we last talked to each other. You were just coming off Teardrop that was doing very well,
that,
quite popular on Tubi.
yeah, that was on. So that must have been like, we must have spoken like maybe June or May, summer of 2022. That was right after the movie came out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Wow, has it been that much time, man?
I don't know. I think Tubi it had been out for a while.
Okay, so maybe we
Because
spoke.
you were on Mike's channel, Mike American
Yeah,
Werewolf in New Jersey. You were on his channel before, and you guys were talking about Teardrop, and
yeah,
then you came over here and we talked about it. So it had been out,
yeah.
but after that had come out, next thing I know, I'm seeing the trades. I'm seeing you post that up, and I'm seeing it come through my feed on Google. I have my settings set to see what the trades have to say, and I
You're
was
like,
very excited. I was very excited to read about the film. I was like, man, this is dope.
yeah. I always made. I made films before I even knew that you could write, but it was more like just making short films and just weird experimental kind of movies. And I continued to make films over the years of writing, but it took a while to get like a proper feature made, just from the level of resources that you need and, actors and budgets and locations and honestly just experience. I think it's easier to write a script than it is to direct a movie, just from the amount of stuff you have to do.
Oh
Um,
my god, yes! And you wrote this movie too.
I wrote it. Yeah, it was a script that I wrote like maybe 3 years ago. And hey, it's I love this chat. This is great. I got it open up. Yeah, man. Just following the passions and trying to make a scary original film and do something a little different. We always spoke about movies, and I always felt like what I wanted to see is like Shining and Stanley Kubrick films. and less of like the conventional kind of horror films. And then I was
Right.
like, I'm just gonna write one and then try to make it, and just you know, motion and cool actors came aboard. I'm trying to get Alexis. I was talking to her today. She might join. Hold on. I'm right here. I'm just gonna text her again right here to try to
Sure.
join.
Yeah, she's quite busy.
I know she is. I think she's traveling for the holidays. I may. I did tell her so. She did. She did was supposed to come, but I know she's. I think she might be East Coast right now. Are you're aware? You're
On East Coast.
yeah, you're East Coast. But yeah, I mean, it's been a mission, man. It's been a fun mission, and we're now in post. We're editing. We're coming around the corner of having a beginning to like color grade and sound and score, and I love that kind of stuff. I don't do any of that, but I like to watch it, and I love watching the composer send me things, and it's fun, man. It's silly stuff, you know.
Oh no, no, I totally get it. I mean, you're sitting there now as a director, watching this. Now, did you pick your editor out, or did you have help with that, or did you or
Yeah. I mean, I basically am overseeing it, so I'm in the editing room with the editor like pretty much every day. Um, but we have a great editor who's just technically sound, and more importantly, story sound. And I actually have learned so much from this editor, and it's the greatest thing to realize that someone once told me, but there's basically three rewrites on a film. It's the writer, then when the director gets it, who happens to be me as well on this one, but you're then rewriting it on set because it's raining instead of sunny. It's this. Eric Roberts does something so good. I'm like, I got to change the script, and Alexis does this and whatever, right? So you're rewriting on set, and then in post, the editor is the final rewrite of the film, and that editor is saying, well, you thought you were shooting this, but you were really shooting this, this, and this, and I could change the structure and open on this scene. And so it's a really cool process to kind of like let go of what you were thinking you were shooting, and have an objective person kind of say, hey, look, Spyder, this is really good, and this is a strong through line. Like, let's try to focus more on that and leave a little bit of this that didn't translate. So
was it hard? Was it hard for you to give him the trust to handle it? I mean, that's your baby, and you're giving it to him, and you're like, please don't mess this up. You want to keep your vision how you saw it and your words how you saw it, but you still got to give it up. I mean, it's like, was it easy for you to do, or without looking over his shoulder, or was it just
I would say that it was. We already had spoken a lot about the film, and just from looking at footage together and things, and we were on the same page of the movie that I was trying to make, and he wanted to make that movie, and I actually really liked the idea, Patrick, of somebody else saying, I'm going to add my filter on, and then like the composer, I'm going to add my filter, and trying to take my core idea and have it filtered through all these different people and different voices and different actors. And different creative positions, different cinematographer, and everyone who, as long as we're all on the same page of the type of film I'm trying to make, if I can correctly get everyone on the same idea of what I'm trying to do by letting them do their thing, it's going to make this beautiful kaleidoscope of like just a vision instead of it being me like kind of micromanaging everyone.
I guess is that what you fight the most? Do you consider yourself a micromanager, or are you pretty liberal when it comes down? I mean, you trust the people to take care of take care of business, or
Yeah.
would you use this? I mean, because here you are, you're a screenwriter, so
Yeah.
you're sitting out there and you're watching this. You're going, I'm sure you're sitting there going like, this is stuff that I would do. This is stuff that I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
If I was directing, I'd do this. If I was, and then all of a sudden, here you are the director, you are doing this, you putting all those things that you put down in your toolbox. Now you're bringing them out, and now you're applying them to your film, one that you wrote.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, was there ever war between you as a director and you as a screenwriter?
Yeah. For sure, actually. I would say that the director won the battle of the screenwriter and the director wars. And I cut lines that I really liked. I cut scenes that I really liked. Um, I cut them in the moment. I cut them in post. It comes down to the idea, and it's the same principle when I wrote a script and would give it to a director like Stephen Monroe and Teardrop. Once he signed on and said, Spyder, I love this story. I told him, I said, Stephen, it's your film now. I'm here. I'm here to do rewrites if you want me to. It's your film, make your baby, and I'm here to support it because to me, it's always been a director's medium. And that director is now going to interpret the material on the film. And it's not necessarily going to be a direct translation. It's not going to be like 2 + 2 = 4. If it was, every screenwriter could direct. And so I try to really say, all right, I wrote the script. As a director, what am I looking at? And is it working here? And, oh, this line that was so damn good, everyone loves, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it being said, and I'm feeling it, and it's just not working. Or this moment, or this thing, or this set piece, and it's like, how do I capture what I was really trying to do on the page? And then I would find something better. I'd say all the time, but the writer in me would be kind of upset with me. But I'm not, as I just don't. I've never been one who is that loyal to my own words. I've been more loyal to the idea, the core idea, if that makes sense.
I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, it shows flexibility. It shows that because there's been screenwriters that my and directors too that directors screenwriters, and they'll give leeway, a little leeway, a little improv room, but for the most part, I've had them tell me that I just want them I want them to say what I wrote,
Yeah,
and it's like for you, for you to go ahead and give that up because like I said, that's what your main call was, screenwriter. And then
yeah,
how important that was, because nobody wants to get notes back. It's like, can we rewrite this? Can we do this? Or it's like, man, I wrote the script. I thought you liked it. And I thought we were making this. But in order to be flexible enough to sit there and say, okay, this is good, but it can be better, and then trust the process. Trust in your ability. Uh,
that
um,
that's the beautiful the beautiful let go feeling, which is just like, hey, again, and there are directors who I admire, where like every line has to be said. My thing is that I don't want to force anything. If I hire an actor and their natural cadence is bringing this thing, instead of trying to turn them into something they're not, I'd rather them embrace that thing that they are, and then write it around that.
right, right,
I feel it's unnatural to like force people into like a box of like, make this line work.
right. Sometimes you gotta change it to fit the talent around it.
Yeah, and that's what I did with every actor in the film. Is I thought that the most original part about the casting was me being like, I'm gonna cast this person as this. No one has ever imagined them doing that part. And once I've done that, my job is done. Like, you've never seen Eric Roberts play a role that I have him in, or Ling play a role that she's doing, or Alexis. They're never done anything like it because no one's ever thought of them for it. And I thought that was where my job was done. Where it's like, once I was like, you should do this, and they read it and connected to it, the character they brought was so good because they were simply making great creative choices of like of the way into that character. And that's where I was like, I don't have to do anything. I have to like, these actors are so good. You don't like, oh, act better. It's just like, we're just trying to find the story beats together, like in a collaboration.
Now, down below, I noticed that it's set during Christmas.
Yeah.
So
Funny,
here's
huh?
my question to you about that: is because it is set in Christmas, will that affect your release date? I mean, do you have any do you have any pull in when it's being shown? I mean, you don't want it to necessarily show in the middle of summer. You want it to be, but
Come on. You don't
do you
want
have
to
any
go to
control over that?
you don't want to go to a Christmas movie on a 95-degree day, come on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, is that something that when you're trying to shoot the film and wrap it and get it to post, did you feel like you were trying to erase that, or did you already know ahead of time that your movie was not going to be, wasn't going to be released for Christmas? So did you guys talk about that? Like, okay, when do you want to have, as far as that goes, when do you want to release it? When would be a good time to? Is that
Uh,
something? Is that something that you're as a director?
I'm
Are you brought in that conversation?
I'm brought into it, but I try to just let the marketing and producer people kind of deal with it because you know I want to make the movie the best movie I can make and make the movie original and not I don't want to sell. I don't want to make a movie that's like tropey and just
Right.
vanilla. So, but when it comes to the marketing and like what the good time of year to release the movie, I could also see it potentially being released in October too, which would be cool. I think there was also some talk from the distributor that we were speaking to about like the film festivals. I'm not really sure. I just want the movie to be seen and have the best life that it can based on the audience for it. And I really think people are going to respond well to it because I think it challenges people in a way that a lot of films in that genre don't usually do. And I think when they do, like people really, really seem to react well to genre films that are not cookie cutter.
Right.
And try to push the envelope a little bit. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah,
To
I definitely think you have, and we're going to get to that because I'm excited because there's a couple of things where I'm really excited about, and I'm so overjoyed because it's so cool that you've done this. First of all, our friend Eden says here, "Hey Pat, can I get a shout out from you, Eden Movie Room to post?" Yeah, you want to say hi to our good friend Eden?
me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if I'm always saying that right or not. I
I
don't
did.
know if it's Ed or Eden. I just keep on like
Uh,
so
Ed, hey Eden, hey Iden, hey
yeah. Yes, hello, and thank you for showing up.
boss.
Yeah, he's a loyal supporter, and I really appreciate him. I just don't know when I see the names. Some of the YouTube names they all run, and I'm always like I'm trying not to butcher the name. Uh, uh, that's got to be sort of fun during casting calls, right? To
Oh
sit
yeah,
there and say, "What's your name again? Could you say your name again?" Um, so let's talk about casting a
yeah,
little bit because you got yourself a stacked cast, and this is what I'm excited about.
yeah, cool,
Is
huh?
that
I know.
you gave Eric Roberts the leading role. He's not just going to be there for a minute and gone. He is he's the star of the movie. How cool is that?
I love Eric. Eric is one of the coolest guys I've ever gotten to work with, just as a person, an actor, just a great creative. Like we were talking about, just a big kid. Big kid who loves playing with his toys, and his toys are is on movie sets. Yeah, it was just dream come true, and um, he kind of reminds me of my dad. So it was very easy to get along with him. He's a just a good, fun loving dude, and sharp as a razor, and just earned his name because he's just such a legend. He's just so talented, and
He really is, isn't he? I
it's
mean,
he's
what's funny is like I used to see his name on just about every movie box. Spider. I used to see his name all the time.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, it's like, is there not that guy? Is there not a movie that guy can, is
he
there
loves.
not a movie that he won't do? But then I just sat back and I started watching him, you
Yep.
know, and all of a sudden I noticed that he is actually he's very focused. I mean, it could be just a small indie movie with a $50,000 budget, but what he energy he brings into it and brings into his role, you think that he's sitting on, doing, the Dark Knight, and he's just full on professional and gives you such a great performance every time. And not only that, but I was sitting here, and you probably heard me mention this, but it seems like Eric Roberts has morphed into a very, very dependable, very energetic horror icon. I mean, he does a lot of horror films now.
I know, and for me, I told him, I was just like, Eric, like my brother is the cinematographer of this film of Down Below. Um, and so we got to, we were just right in the face of Eric with the camera and me and him, and we were just like, choreographing shots. And it was like, my brother and I were just such big fans of Entourage too. And Eric is in one of the Entourage episodes, and we were just like fanboying out on like, the guy, Dark Knight, the guy's just such a legend, and he's just loves to chat too. And he's a super inspiring guy too. Like, just like, boys, you're following your dreams. Like, he's just a good guy, like just a rare, great guy of like in every way that you would hope to be. And, I hope to work with him.
You know how easy it is and it's happened, and we've heard stories about it between you and me and probably some other people out there. But here is your first movie you're directing, your first feature film, and and it could have been really easy for him to come up there and just dominate. Like I'm going to take over this movie because I can.
Yeah.
And yet he comes in there. He's humble and he's graceful. He's gracious and he's collaborative, and he makes your job, which is already stressful as it is.
Yeah.
how much did that help, knowing full well that you had an actor of that caliber come in there and come in there with his head down, ready to do the job? I mean, if you're any other supporting actor, you're not going to mess that up. You don't want to be that nail sticking out, because Eric Roberts is going to probably be the one with the hammer, because he wants to get there. He wants to make a good movie. He wants to make your first experience a good one.
Yes.
How many actors have not done that for a first time director?
Yeah. And it's, based on the industry and the amount of experiences, and I'm also imagine he's had of working with unpleasant directors and unpleasant people. He has every right, and these people have every right to like not come in with an optimistic positive attitude into work thing, but he's just not that guy. He just came, and he was there. The last person was just me, my brother, and him, and like he was literally there beyond the crew. Like we were just chilling out after, and he was eating a fat burger at lunch with the crew, and him and his wife, and just a gem of a dude in all ways. And it made gave me the feeling that I was doing what I was meant to be doing on that film, and just with making movies. Is that I'm like, oh, this turns out this guy that is so synonymous with film and stories is just like me, and just loves the making the movie part. And that's why he's here. That's why I'm here. And he read the script, and he was unbelievably enthusiastic about doing it, and had all this great stuff for the character. And we just talked about character and ideas, and it was awesome, man. I could go on, and just about how cool of a guy he was, and just the level of respect he gave me to the material, of saying, hey, like you done something special with this story and this role, kid, like, or I wouldn't be here. And he just
and you know what,
magic.
and you know what, and he means that, and because look at his performances. He comes in there and he says, "I believe in the script," and he does, because he comes out there and knocks it out.
Mm-hmm.
Got people coming in saying hello. Our good friend Jimmy Joe is all the way from Ireland, and he is enjoying it. Our friend New York gal Hart. I hope I'm saying that right. Is here and says hello, Spyder. Thank you guys all for coming in. I appreciate it so much. Um, So I mean, casting was, this is your first time, this here's your first, again, it's like the same thing. What was your role in casting, in relation? I mean, like, you gave the movie to the editor to edit it. Did you do the casting yourself? Did you have a dream list of who you wanted to act,
Yeah.
based on the budget you had, of, because,
I got
or
I was very involved with the casting, down to everyone, every single no line, one line part. I really want to know every single person in my film, and to just know that everyone is right. And as far as casting, I feel very grateful and blessed that I just got the cast that I really wanted, and it was somehow easy, although maybe not forever, not in maybe in hindsight now, but um, just getting to work with actors who I really wanted to work with, and them really loving the script and leaving their schedules and doing this film that is kind of weird and out there, and kind of just falling in love with the material, and meeting with me, and letting me tell them why I think they're so good for this, and what I would do, and just getting everyone that I went after somehow.
we have a question for you. We have a real quick, we have a question. It says, so it says, what inspires you to write these scripts? I mean, yeah, because you did a horror film, and now there's part of it is like, now, because you've done horror before. You did very well with Teardrop. That was
Yeah,
a hell of a movie. But you've done other movies. You've done other Christmas movies, actually.
yeah,
And you've done mainstream films as well. You're not known as, as a horror director, so to speak. You're known as, right now, as this.
just
Do you like having that label on, like, like certain directors, like an Eli Roth, or a Joe Lynch, or, or
yeah.
Radial Silence? They're known as horror directors. Is that a label is that good to be labeled like that, or would you rather be just labeled as a film director that you can do anything?
Yeah, I think I would rather, because I'll tell you, after finishing this film, and coming in, I'm like, I want to do something completely different next. Like, I just do. I want to do something comedy or sci-fi, or just something completely opposite of kind of the supernatural horror stuff. So, but if whatever anyone wants to call me, it's anyone can do whatever, say what they want. But um, I like making making stories that inspire me, and I don't really even focus on a genre. It's more just like a story. And if it happens to be horror again, it's nothing like Teardrop in any capacity. This movie is so different from Teardrop. But if you were to like maybe look at some of the elements, you'd be like, oh, well, this has a little supernatural. It has this. It has a little bit of the Christmas. Like, it's all these things. Like, well, I just think that, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it would get old if every project was similar to the other ones. It just, sometimes I'll stay in the same kind of, not genre, but like interest, right? Like, it comes down to interest. Like, I like ghost stuff. I like people getting haunted and maybe losing their mind. And I like stories that are about more than just scares. I like where it's about, a man wanting to get back with his wife. I like that kind of thing. So you're going to see those kind of themes, I guess, repeat a bunch in my stuff, but I don't know if it would be anything remotely similar.
Now, when you wrote, Down Below, did you knew going in that's what you wanted to do? This is
Mm-hmm.
you sat down, you wrote the script. Are you in the mood? Do you have like a, like some directors storyboard their movies? As a screenwriter, do you storyboard ideas, like a comedy, a drama, a family drama, a ranch movie? Do you have that around you, like, and look at them, and see which one speaks to you? Like, which one is, which one's talking to you most before you hit the typewriter? or is it just sit down there and just let your fingers go and see where they take you?
Yeah, it's a little bit of that. And to answer Jimmy Joe, I would make a zombie movie if I could find the right
Yeah.
that I thought would be fun for me. But I even this Down Below film, like what the film it started when I started writing, it is became a vastly different movie to what it ended up as. But I guess the core essence of the film is still there. Like if someone saw some early draft, they'd be like, "This isn't even remotely the same movie," and they'd be like, "Well, this is there, this is there, this thing is there, this villain is kind of the same." Um, but Patrick, I don't really know what makes me write movies. It's like almost that thing, when you turn on the TV and you're like, oh, what do you want to watch tonight? If I asked you
Right. Yes.
that, right? It's that
Yeah.
thing. It's what do I want to write today? It's that kind of feeling.
Yeah. Because
And
I'll be honest with you, I'm sure the chat can understand this too. Um, it's like, how do you mean? I mean, does everybody already know what they're going to watch before they watch it, or do you like? Because a lot of the folks in the chat, they're movie collectors like myself, and like if I go into my book, or I go to my shelf or my closet, and I look, and I get sometimes I just don't know what I want to watch. I just don't know because there's so much out there, and it's noise, in the head, it's noisy. And I was thinking as a screenwriter, it's like, when you sit down, do you have that noise in your head? Like, what do I want to write? I have so many different ideas. What do I go with first? You know, do I go with the creativity? Do I go with do I go with something that can be made sooner than later? I mean, horror movies are, is it safe to say in your experience, Spider, that horror movies are easier to sell versus something like, a family drama?
I
Like the
don't
house,
know.
like you made the housewife. You wrote the Housewives of the North Pole. That's a very fun cast. You wrote that. Was that movie easier to sell than the fact when you turn around and you tried to versus Teardrop? I mean, what movie
They were
sold?
both
What movie sells faster? I mean, does
those
that?
both.
Well,
I
go
came
ahead.
up with both of those ideas in 2016, and they literally both got made in the same month and sold
Wow.
7 later. So I don't know. Like I don't know if there's some sort of like quality in a certain type of movie that's easier or not. I think people could go mad trying to chase that dragon. But I would say that there's something exciting about a project that is really, really easy to see as a movie, like a big, good movie idea that's also a good lean script. Does that
Hmm.
make like I think like if you write a really killer script and it's lean, like it's not too heavy, but it's also just a really good movie idea. I think that's the equation. And I think a lot of times people writing horror tap into really good movie ideas. Like those guys like the Lights Out, like they just come up with a good movie idea, and that's
So hard.
that's
It's
gonna
so hard. It's got to be hard though to come up with.
yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about Down Below
Yeah,
and the genesis behind it. So but let me go to the chat first. Catch up here. Let's see. Say everything. Hi to everybody. Larry, our good friend Larry, the horror cat dad is here. Hi, Larry. Let's see. Yeah, you would make a zombie movie. That would be fun.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
let's
gonna
see.
text Alexis again right now. Hold on.
Larry says sometimes it just hits you. Yeah, I think that happens for sure, especially for experienced screenwriters such as Spider is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that tends to happen more often or not. You could just, but you just, but even so, you still come across like writer's block, or idea block. Um, let's see. New York Gal mentions what does he enjoy most about directing and interacting with the people and the cast? Yeah, I mean, is that the fun part about being a director versus a screenwriter? A screenwriter, you're on the set, but you're sort of like in the background of it. You know, you're there, but you're not really interacting a lot unless you're called upon. Whereas
Mhm.
the director, you're everywhere and seeing everyone. What part of that? What part of that appeals most to you?
Yeah, I love the collaborative process of directing and working with the talent and working with the crew and just being on the set and just sharing ideas and all just kind of that buzzing energy when someone delivers a great line and a great take. And yeah, I love it so much. I can't wait to get, do my next movie as a director of just it's a different feeling than being a writer, and being a writer is amazing too. But I've, you know, we just evolve and we do different stuff, and I always liked the working with cast, and it's cool. It's cool to be with people and kind of try to take a script with a bunch of interesting people who all have different lives and things. And I didn't, I just met Alexis, and she and I were talking about her character, and we're just, she's in makeup and hair, and I'm like, I got this idea, and she said, well, then I would do this. And it's just, it's like everyone is just trying to put together this really, really wicked Rubik's cube, and it's fun. It's fun, and it's awesome. And then everyone is just rejoices on the results when we all have come and made something special together. It's like, wow, we all did that. Like, how the hell did we do it? And now the film like captures that moment in time.
Um, let's see. Our friend Larry mentions New York. New York Gal says that you have the coolest name ever. It is
Thank
a pretty cool name.
you. You're down.
It's a really cool name.
Yeah.
Our Larry mentions. He says, have there been any scripts that you wrote where you were surprised one sold quicker over another? Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm sort of surprised by that. You know, when you said that both Teardrop and the North Pole sold at the same time, I'm going like, I would have thought Teardrop would have sold a lot sooner.
I know. When I wrote it, it was Tubi wasn't even invented yet, and the producer who sold it, this awesome dude named Ira Pincus, who sold my first Christmas movie, he would never done a horror movie, and he was doing holiday movies, and then he had transitioned over there, and he was in 2021 and asked me, and he was like, Spyder, do you have a horror Western movie? Because we would like to make one for Tubi. And I was like, well, actually, I have just that. And I had written a horror Western movie because a producer asked me if I'd wanted to, write one because he thought he could get access to some Western set. And then I wrote it, and then he couldn't get it done. And then I was like, well, I have this great script, and then nobody would read it because this Jonah Hex movie had come out, and they're like, horror Westerns are like the most abominable script you could write. That was it. That was my one read I got. And then the guy ended up selling it right away to the first person over when he moved to Tubi. And so then all of a sudden, horror Westerns are back, baby.
That sucks. I don't know. Have you seen Jonah Hex?
I haven't seen it, but that was the big talk of why you should never write.
Oh my god!
It's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
you really lost your mind. You're writing horror Westerns now. We preferred when you wrote alien scripts, and I was like,
Oh, yeah. You owe it to yourself to watch Jonah Hex. Let me tell you, you
yeah,
owe it to yourself.
yeah.
That is like, if you ever wonder, if you ever wondered like, am I doing this right? Am I, I have self doubt. Watch Jonah Hex. That movie will put you right back in the saddle. Even like, oh hell, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm all right. This is good. Because then you can look at Jonah Hex and go like, oh hell no, that's not.
Is
Ooh.
it like a superhero, a comic book or
It
something?
was. It was a character. It's a great character.
Mm,
It was a great character. Jonah Hill's a great DC Comics character. But
wow.
the people who made the movie was just it was a car crash. It
Mm,
was 72 minutes long. trying to release that from a major studio, 72-minute long movie, and it was just god awful.
How,
Wasted so much talent. It
how many?
wasted Josh Brolin, yeah, wasted Josh Brolin, Megan Fox, and John Malkovich.
What a cast!
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
That was horrible. Let's
who?
see. Jimmy Joe mentions. Yes, Jimmy Joe as. Yes, but Spider. Have you ever worked with anyone famous? Yes, we were just talking about that with Eric Roberts. And you got to work with Bai Ling. What was it working like? We've been talking about Eric Roberts. But what was it like working with experienced hands such as? Because your cast is stacked. Let's
We
just
had
be honest with it.
Doug
Your cast
Jones.
is your cast is lit.
I worked with Doug Jones on this one. By Ling. Um, yeah,
I
ask
love
away.
it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Bai Ling is a superstar. I mean, she's so cool too. Like, she's just so dangerously cool. And she is. Oh my gosh! Like, honestly, she's like one of these characters in the film that I'm just so excited for people to see because we just pushed and went as bold as you could get, and she is just down for the ride. Like, I have a note or an idea, and she's like, and she just delivers. And you're like, damn, this girl is just meant to be on film, and she's so funny and energetic, and just she's a charming lady.
Yeah.
I love her. I love her. I mean,
Did you give Doug Jones? Now I know this is going to sound funny, but I mean, people who know Doug Jones's work know that what I'm going to ask is, it's a good question, and that is, did you give Doug Jones speaking? Did he have speaking part? Did he have a speaking part in this movie?
yeah, he does, but I can't say more than that. But he's doing a really interesting role, and that's I mean, that's why he's doing it. He works on such big studio movies, so for him to
He
work
just
with,
never really gets to speak. And it's just like, I remember when he did Hellboy and he played Ape Sapien, and they dubbed his voice with David Hyde Pierce,
yeah,
and I'm
he's
like,
speaking
just,
in. I was I'm a big Doug Jones fan, and he we were just buddies on Twitter actually, and I gave him the script, and he was like, I mean, I'm sure he'll tell you. He's like, I'm probably not, don't want to go, like, he doesn't live in LA, so it's like, I'm over in LA making this movie, and he's like, Spider, I love you, like, I'm probably not going to do this, but just send me the script. I was like, all right, well, will you just read it, just and then I sent it to him. I didn't expect to hear from him, and then like 10 minutes later, he's like, I love it, I'm in, and then his agent
oh,
called.
that's fun. That's fun. So let's talk about a little bit about the genesis of the movie, though.
Yeah,
Before we go back, we're gonna come back to Doug. We're gonna come back to Doug, but I want to know.
he
So
was in.
where did you get the idea for Down Below? It sounds extreme. The first thing I think of when I say Down Below, the first thing that gets me is it sounds claustrophobic, which is
It,
always a good thing for a horror fan.
it's not.
Like we love that. We love that. How do I get out of this?
What I'll say, Patrick. It's really not claustrophobic. There are elements, but I actually I truly try to make the movie as like even the claustrophobic stuff to be like not feel claustrophobic, and to make it feel like vast and more like the Overlook Hotel, the Shining kind of feeling. But there's some sinister stuff down below for sure, and I guess the genesis of it, I don't know. I don't. My mind doesn't work that way. Like, I don't know if there's like something that I just I've been wanting to tell this story for a long time, and I tried several variations to try to figure out how to make it, and just even for me, like dealing with some of the stuff where there's violence and um, just weird psychological stuff, and trying to figure out how to like make that work on film. Um, it, it's a special film. I mean, this film, I'll never make a film like this again, just simply because um, it was
It's the first one. I mean,
yeah,
seriously, it's the first one as a screenwriter director. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
full. I mean, it's
yeah.
like, yeah,
You know, because you're kind of like figuring out if you've got what it takes, and for me, I was shocked. Like, I kind of knew that that the actors were going to work well, because I don't know, I just knew that, like, I could talk to them. If you could get me in the room with someone, I could just tell them what I was doing, and that my passion and for the story would translate. But the stuff of, like, trying to sell some of the set pieces and the genre and really creating a tone, that was, I think, the biggest fear I had, and I feel very good about our cut of the movie. But to actually create a tone is not so easy. Like, you're trying to create a world and a feeling, and how, what does that even mean? You know, like,
yeah. I
and
mean,
that's what you have to
world
cover.
building, you know, trying to build a world, and
Yeah,
even if it's just for the one movie, but you're still trying to build that world. You're still trying to make it
yeah,
interesting enough so people want to come and watch it. I
yeah,
was going to ask you
exactly.
this. I was going to ask you this when I was asking about, you know, where you get your ideas from. You know, we talked about it earlier when you got here, and that is that you know, you surf a lot. You post on your Instagram. You know, you're always at the beach or whatnot. And I was going to ask you, is that another place where you could just get away and ideas come to you when you're sitting on your board? You know, waiting for a wave to come. Is that a good place for you? Is that your Zen place where you're
Hmm.
out with you and the nature and the ocean, and this ideas start coming to you?
For sure. I can recall, a lot, entire monologue that's in the finished film that I actually came up with out in the water 2 years ago. I was sitting out in the water, and the waves were so good, I couldn't leave. And I came up with, in my head, this monologue, and I kept repeating it to myself for 2 hours so that I wouldn't lose it. And I held on to it, got into the parking lot after 2 hours, and I wrote it down. And it's actually in the finished film to this day. Um, Crazy.
That's cool. I thought about that, you know, when I was, you know, when I was getting ready to talk to you about this. I'm going like, you know, I'm just wondering, like, I mean, that's got to be a,
Oh,
because most people I always ask is like, do you just go to, you know, do you go to your office and you have coffee and you sit and you just, you know, do you set aside a day to think about ideas? And to me, it's like your office is almost like the surfboard. That's your, you
yeah,
know, if you want to get a hold of Spyder, more likely or not, he's going to be out there trying to catch a wave. But you're
yeah,
working.
yeah, and you know, you're, especially with editing too, because I find editing to be a lot like screenwriting. Actually, that's probably why I could honestly just make films and direct and be in editing and still feel like I'm writing, because it's like, you're I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should bring this line up to the beginning of the scene, you know, and that's rewriting. It's writing. So, but it happens everywhere, man. It happens at dinner. You know, it's just kind of like a lifestyle kind of thing, where, you know, at the end of the day, like, as much as anyone can say making movies is a career, it's a hobby, it's a passion, it's, you know, it's a game. It's like playing a video game, you know, like, you play it a bunch and then you're like, oh my gosh, like, I can beat this level much easier if I just, whatever. And
What was it like for you for the first time to get financing, or did you have a producing partner for the film? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. It was great. I mean, there was more pressure, I for sure. Like,
yeah,
of just,
that's
you know,
everybody. That's the
uh,
one thing everybody says they hate the most about the whole movie making process is getting the money.
yeah, and getting the money, and just the, you know, it's like,
Do
when there's
people
money,
ask
there's
you? Do people
expect
ask you this like, you know, so many movies go out there, so much out
complexities.
there, and I mean, realistically, you want your movie to be seen, you want your movie to do well, but more, you know, a lot of times it doesn't happen necessarily. How do you respond to someone sit there and say, well, you're asking for like $500,000 for
Hmm.
this movie? Uh huh. How are you going to get it back? How are you going to repay us? how do you respond to that in a as a director or a producer? Like is it well, we're hoping for the best, but
Yeah,
realistically,
that's
or how do you
that's a
tell them? How do you convince them to have faith in you because I was looking at the credits of the movie, and there are a ton of speaking parts in there.
yeah, for sure, huh? I know.
Yeah, that's not cheap.
No, it's not. um, I I think that well, you ask a great question, and I would say objectively, as a director and a producer, your roles are very different. So, as a director, if someone asked me that, I would tell them about the film and why audiences are going to connect to it. But as a producer, I would say, well, you're going to need this type of talent. You're going to need this type of thing. You're going to need this type of, a little bit of action, a little bit of spectacle. You're going to need a great trailer. You're going to need moments that are cinematic. You're going to need a little bit of this, a little, and so you want to find the balance, right? Where you don't want to plug in talent to your film that may get your money back, right? Like, oh, this cast is good enough to get onto Hulu or whatever. You don't want to do that if the cast, as a director, the cast isn't right for your story. So, right, there's plenty of movies out there that have amazing casts that suck. They just do. And it's because they're the wrong people for the role. And so you, as a director, want to get those exciting actors in your film, but you got to make sure they're right for it. And if they're not, you can't make that forced fit. It's like trying to make a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, and you're using pieces from a different collection. You're just gonna break the puzzle, and make something that people don't want to watch. So I would say that, yeah, you gotta believe, you gotta charm, you gotta try to make a good movie. And at least an entertaining movie. That was my thing. I'm like, look, I'm going to make sure that this movie, I think that this stuff is going to be great, but also I want to make sure the movie's entertaining, because I feel the ultimate sin you can make is make something boring. I would rather a movie be bad and funny and fun than boring. And
Right.
I think boredom is the ultimate thing. I mean, otherwise, look at these Sharknado movies. Like, these movies are so bad, but they're fun to watch somehow.
They are. Yeah, I mean there are some that are out there that yeah, you just look at them and shake your head and go like,
Boredom, man. Nobody.
hey, but you know what? If it works, if people want to see it, they will come and they will watch.
So
I
you have your hierarchy, right? So like, no one, I'm not saying like no one wants to make a bad film, but like, you have to ask yourself first, like,
well, except for Dustin Ferguson.
it's like it's like how do you make your like, obviously, right? Like, to me, I'm like, I want to work with actors who I think are great actors, but I also am like, I don't want to put these great actors in these like drab, boring roles. I want
Right.
to make them something fun. I want to push the envelope like a Quentin Tarantino film, or where there's characters that are funky and fun, and the dialogue is wild, and yet there's truth to it, and it's raw. Like a big R-rated grown-up Scooby-Doo movie, man. That's what I'm trying to make, with really, really evil
Man,
stuff.
you should
Yeah.
try that. You know what? That's your challenge from now
That's
until that's our challenge from now until we have you come back. I would love to see you try to write an animated Scooby Doo movie.
oh my gosh, I would love to do that. Like, I would love to do that. That'd be so fun.
I didn't realize that I didn't realize they're still making Scoob movies even to today.
Yeah,
I've been catching up all the old ones and going, oh no, they keep cranking them out. It's amazing to me. It's like it's like that is amazing. It is amazing that they keep on cranking them out. I had no idea that he was that crazy. I thought it was just the same 40 shows recycled over and over. But then I started getting into Scoob and I started getting all the movies, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, people really like this, and there's some really talented people behind there.
yeah.
You think you look at it's a cartoon for Christ's sakes, but yet there's people out there that love to write that.
It's there's a true, like, I think the Scooby Doo people, like, know their stories they're telling. You know, that's why they've remained making good stuff. Like, it's just like authentic to that to what Scooby Doo is all about.
We have a question for you. Um, who's an name us. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this with you, Larry. Name us three actors and three actresses that you would like to work with.
Ooh,
If you had, if you swung and hit your home run your first time out. You said. I mean, we even way back then. You said that you were after Doug, after By, and after Eric.
no,
That's there's a lot of people they would aim higher and then drop down, but
I,
that's not what you did. You went there and said, no, this is who I want. These are the
I,
three I want.
it is. You know, hey, Courtney Palm. I know Courtney actually. Um, that's funny. She one of the actors in our film, Hutch Dano, was in this Zon Beavers thing with her. I was speaking with her about trying to do something years ago. Really cool girl. I'd say my top three actors and top three actors. I mean, I'm dying to work. I'm so dying to work with Nick Cage, Jim Carrey, and
If he says Shaggy Rogers,
I love like I'm dying to do a Nick Cage and Jim Carrey are like my fan. I want to work with them in like a really weird psychological film so badly. Uh, I like for years, like since I started, I was like, I'm gonna somehow make a movie with these guys one day. And on the girl side, I, I really like. I mean, there's so much talent. That girl. She's so big now. But when I saw her in that Midsummer movie, that Florence
oh,
Pugh,
Florence Pugh, yeah,
when I
yeah.
saw her, this girl's so good. She's gonna be so big, and that, I mean, she's like a worldwide name now. Um, I also really like. I like this actress named Charlotte Rampling. You know her?
Oh my gosh, yes,
Yeah, she was in.
yeah, way back in the day, yeah. She did Orca.
Yeah, she did like Dexter, like some character part in Dexter. And then I also would really love to work with David Duchovny. I was a big Californication and X Files fan, and I don't know. I think there's a role that I have. I don't know. I like to work with all these people and really do something really different with them, and just kind of
I,
something.
I thought I love the Charlotte Ramping pick.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Most of the time you expect them to go down to Jenna Ortega or Mia Goth or something like that,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
go for someone like a veteran actress like Charlotte Rampling. I mean,
That's
she's a good actress.
I know that's the way I've always been too. You're like, I'm not one of those people, like I just never been starstruck, and I just don't really care about celebrities and things like that. So I'm always more like, like I don't want to work with that person. Like everybody like, why they're so successful. I'm like, I'm not like a big fan of their work. Like I want to work with people who I'm like a big
That want to
fan
work together. That
of.
teamwork.
Yeah, with their actual style of acting and things, so that I could then take that and then try to put it into my own genre of puzzle piece kind of thing. So it's just kind of like it's all taste too. Like I met people who are like don't like The Shining, and I'm like I just love The Shining. I don't know why, and I just love like Eyes Wide Shut and films like that, and David Lynch films and Darren Aronofsky and. But I
Yeah.
also I like a good popcorn film, and I like the original Pirates movie. Man, I was watching Sweeney Todd last night. I'm like,
I'm actually surprised that chat has not just imploded with laughter every time you mention The Shining. The reason why is because everybody knows that I'm not a Shining fan.
you're not a Shining fan. Well, there you go. Like
I am Shining the book fan. I am not Kubrick's fan.
you're
The
right.
book
You're right.
is yeah,
Hey,
I love the book.
King. You're with Stephen King on that one, man. He despises the film. I also never read the book, so maybe that's kept me um at a distance
I
from.
think I want to say you and I talked about that before. I have to go back, but you have to get a. I'm gonna have to send you a copy. I'm gonna look for it at my bookstore. I'm gonna get your address. I'm gonna send you the book so you can check it out. Once you read the book, it'll change you'll change
Yeah,
your mind.
yeah. Send me. I will read the book. Hey, boss, I
Okay.
got to get running. Actually, man.
Yeah, no problem. That's we actually I actually had you 4 minutes past.
I got
I
four
was
minutes.
like, whoops. And yeah, you got to get some food in you and get off your get off. Now, did you get your cut on your foot?
Yeah, it's on a foot. It's got it. It's I've got a little like bandage, kind of airing it out, kind of thing. It'll be
Yeah.
good. I'll be back in the water. They said in like 10 days or something like that.
Okay. All right.
I
Well,
heal quickly, you know.
when the movie comes out, when it gets released, we'll come back and revisit, and maybe we'll
Let's
get
do it,
Alexis.
man.
You
I'm
know,
gonna
see if
get. I, Alexis. I'm sending her like clips of this. I'm like, Alexis, where are you? I think she's on an airplane right now.
yeah. Well, oh, I sent her a I said a hi to her on Instagram. I'll try to send her another note there, and
Sure.
yeah, we'll see if we can get her. We'll see if we can get the cast on closer to the when the movie releases.
Yeah,
I'm
when we
trying
start
because you have a huge cast. Let
when
me
we
tell you.
start doing, and I think that's the thing too, is they're like when it comes to like when we get closer to like the trailer and the release and stuff, then they're all like, doing all their interviews and stuff, because I want to get, I also want to get, yeah, Courtney Palm. I also want to get, like, I want to do an interview so bad and bring Bai Ling on. She's so much fun. Like, she has so many great stories. Like, she's
I
so,
will.
man. Like,
You have to bring us. You have to bring us by Ling. You have to bring
I'm,
us her.
I'm gonna, I'm just gonna like, I'll be their wranglers. I'll get them. I'll track them down.
Um, but I want you
Hey,
to take care of
just,
yourself. Get some
hey,
rest.
thank you, my
Just,
friend. It was so great chatting, and
yeah.
to everyone listening in, I also love Scatman Crothers. Favorite scene? Let me see. Blah blah blah. Emma Roberts. I love Scream 4 with Emma Roberts, and I love who else? How many movies have I directed? Short films, animated, no budget feature that got into one film festival. What do I think about people that use AI now to make scripts? If you can write a better script with AI, then you know how to use that stuff, because I've only churned out crap. Beautiful. Love you guys.
All
Dude,
right.
Pat,
Have a great
thank
night.
you again for having me on, brother.
No
It's great to
problem.
see you,
Thank you
buddy.
so much.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Spider, for coming in. And thank you guys to the chat for hanging out with us tonight. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out with us during the bumpy beginning. But it was a great show. I didn't know he was sitting in the wrong link. But we got him here. He's a fantastic film director. I can't wait to see his new movie coming out. It's going to be awesome. Down Below. Um, it says this follows a young sheriff and a criminal suspect who become entangled when a sinister force starts haunting them on Christmas Eve. So it's going to be really good. And like I said, what I'm really excited about is that we're going to see Eric Roberts and Bai Ling and Doug Jones. They're all going to be, that's their leading roles. They're not just, names on the box, a couple of scenes, and you're done with them. They're important to the film. I'm super happy about that because I'm a fan of both their work. Plus Doug Jones, he's going to kick ass, whatever he's going to do. Um, so tomorrow we're going to be here at 8 o'clock, back to our regular schedule time, and we're going to be talking with Peter Castro from Bayview Entertainment. Peter will be here, and that will be a really fun show as well. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific. Okay, those who are looking for something to do, I know that the Midnight Hour is on over at Hobbs's channel. So if you guys want to head on over there, tell them when you go inside. If you go to the Midnight Hour, just tell them the Cheetah sent you. Just say, go Cheetah, go. Hey, Katie, how are you? Wow. Okay. I thought you were going to be on the Midnight Hour. All right. So we're all gonna invade Hobbs Horror, and we're gonna say the Cheetah sent us, and then we will see you tomorrow night. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And Yeah, tomorrow, Peter Castro, Bayview Entertainment. We're out. Peace.